Good evening and welcome to Newsmax Prime. I'm J.D. Hayworth. Of prime interest tonight, speaking out for the speakership. With John Boehner setting down the gavel for good in late October, candidates are emerging to pick it up and lead the House. The establishment favorite is current Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy, but a two-term congressman from Florida stands ready to buck the establishment. Daniel Webster is determined to make good on the promises he first made as a candidate back in 2010.
It's going to be a great day in America, a new day in America, and things are going to change. We're going to take back Congress, and we're going to make the process right. We're going to make the policy right, and we're going to show them that you can campaign with a positive campaign, and you can still win.
We are joined now via telephone from Capitol Hill by the aforementioned Congressman Daniel Webster of Florida. Congressman, thanks very much for your time here on Newsmax Prime.
Hey, great to be on.
Dan, people on the outside looking in view this as a conservative versus establishment battle, but it sounds like you're talking about the process from the grassroots up, and that would be a hallmark of your leadership if you become Speaker.
Yes, well, I think the real key is that the reason the conservatives are so distraught is because they don't get heard. And the reason they don't get heard is because all of the decisions are made from the top of a pyramid of power. A few people at the top dictate whatever happens in this House of Representatives. So if they want their bill heard, it has to come from the top down. If they want to have an amendment heard, it's got to be blessed by the top down. And it'll never work. And so what I'm saying is, if we push down the pyramid of power and spread out the base, every member would have a chance to be successful. And to me, that's where we're missing the boat. We're excluding people, and by excluding them, there's no input, and a lot of these things are very important to conservatives, especially because they want to have their voice heard. But if you shut that out, even the unintended consequences increase because very few eyes see these proposed pieces.
Right now, as you know, the establishment is talking about an aura of inevitability and invincibility surrounding the Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy. How are you making the case to say, while the Majority Leader is a fine guy, you need to be the next Speaker?
Well, I think we're headed down the same road. So in a power-based system, you have CRs after you bump up against these deadlines. So whether it's a reenactment of or reauthorization of a bill or the appropriation bills or any of those things, it is purposeful in a power-based system to delay those right until the end. Then there's only one choice. As opposed to, in a principle system, says we take up the most important issues first. So there's plenty of time to discuss them, plenty of time to amend them, and all the good things that have gone into some of these appropriation bills, but because we waited so long, they're just for naught.
Are you in this to win it? Are you going to stay in the race, or might you step aside for another conservative?
I'm in it to win because I know that in Florida, all the things that I described to you, I did. And here was the unintended consequence of doing that, not intended by us. Our polling numbers were no better than the Congress when the Democrats controlled the Florida House of Representatives. But when I became Speaker, those numbers, after we instituted all of these things, turned not just a little better, they turned right side up. Over 50% of the people believe that what we were doing is right. That way, in the presidential race and other races, we don't become a drag, because that's why Donald Trump and these other front runners just point to us. D.C., Washington, that's us. And yet, if we had done the right thing, and if we do the right thing, and we base things on principle, we're going to be an aid to them, not a detriment.
Well, we will watch as this continues along. For now, Congressman Daniel Webster, we thank you very much for your time.
Great to be on.